bonsoir. I'm the Mademoiselle, and this is my second channel. We are going to be talking about all of you who are watching this video right now and are in school for something you don't give a shit for, okay? Are in school for something your parents forced you to do. Are in school for nursing, doctor, lawyer, okay? And your parents forced you to, because that's just what Haitian parents do. Now, I can say that I was blessed enough to not have my parents force me to do anything. They've never really told me what to do. They've always let me have my creative realm. They always let me draw on the walls. They always let me, attend singing competitions and let me do choreography. Like, they were never the type to be like, oh, stop wasting your time, go to school, stop singing, go read a book. They were never like that, and I'm very, very thankful that they did that, because I probably wouldn't be a YouTuber right now if my parents did not let me express myself the way I wanted to. From the time I was younger, I know I've always wanted to be in media. I know that I always wanted to be in something where, like, I can be a personality. I can spread my wings and fly away. One of those things where it's like, my parents always allowed me to be me, and I really appreciate that. However, I know a lot of Haitian kids growing up, y'all not so lucky, okay? If you guys do not know, because you're not Haitian, you have to know right now, Haitians live by these three principles: l'église, l'école, l'accueil. I taught you what these meant in one of my previous videos. Okay, l'école, school, l'église, church, l'accueil, home. Period. Nothing else. No friends. Nothing else is important. Okay, anything that happens is a privilege. Anything else around that is a privilege. It is something that you are granted when you do what they say you're supposed to do, when they say you're supposed to do it, and you do it well. If you don't, that's it. Those are your three principles. There's no soccer practice. There's no sleepover. There's no nothing. And it gets worse as you get older, because they expect you to go to college. And when you go to college, it's one of those situations where you have to do what they told you to do, especially if they're paying for it, and you can't sign off on your own papers. But before we get into all of that, today's Creole word of the day is étudier, which means study, okay? Haitians believe that you should étudier for your entire life, okay? As soon as you come out the womb, you studying some shit. This is a good thing to instill within your kids, but at the same time, a lot of Haitians don't believe that school isn't for everybody. School really isn't for everybody. There's some people who just don't believe in going to a traditional school. They're very good with their hands. They'd rather do a trade, etc. So it's like, I don't believe it's okay to force kids into school. So that's just my overall outlook and how I grew up. However, I did grow up around a lot of people who were forced into whatever they were doing. I met so many Haitians in college, and they were like, yeah, I'm majoring in nursing, but I just, really want to do graphic design. Yeah, I'm majoring in law, but I'd really enjoy being, a plumber or an electrician. And it's crazy, because in the Haitian culture, these types of things are absolutely frowned upon. If your kid is not a doctor or a lawyer or famous from whatever else they're doing that's not doctor or lawyer, yeah, your kid's pretty much a failure. Didn't do nothing, okay? What God did to you? You might as well just move away to Idaho and not show your face. And the funny thing is, the people who will sit there and try to come at you for the way that your kids came out have kids that's like out here thotting and bopping and selling, and they want to talk about your kids, but I digress. A lot of Haitians base their success on the success of their children. That's why a lot of times they're pushing their kids to do this, that, and the third. So literally every single day on this channel, I get a comment on an older video or a DM on Instagram, and they're always like, hey, I'm Haitian. I grew up in this place. I'm currently in school for this, that, and the third because my parents made me do it, but I really want to be in school for something else. I get this message literally at least one time a day, and I'm just like, I understand that you want to please your parents. I understand that 9 times out of 10, your parents are probably paying for your school. But you need to understand that it is your life. You need to understand that you're putting yourself into debt to fulfill someone else's dream. Now, depending on how important that is to you, I don't think it's worth it. Now, if you're one of those people that really loves your parents and you're going to school as a tribute to your parents, which a lot of people do, like, your parents are deceased or your parents really want to see you do this one thing and it's something that you care about, I get it. But it's something you genuinely don't care about. Like, I do not give a shit for the medical field. I do not give a shit. Okay? If my parents would have tried to push me to be a nurse, kid you not, I wouldn't even dare. Because I'm bad at math. I'm bad at science. I'm just not good at that type of stuff. And there's one point I did think I wanted to be a lawyer when I was younger. That I killed that dream. And at one point I really wanted to be part of the FBI. Okay? I want to be part of the BAU, which is the Behavioral Analysis Unit of the FBI. So they kind of almost got me with the law shits, but then I was like, yeah, I don't want to. Like, I realized I wouldn't have a life, and I always wanted to like express myself and give myself to the world and speak about my opinions. And I'm like, I can't really have a YouTube channel and be part of the FBI because that's a little bit yeah. So I was like, all right, I had to pick one. And I was like, you know what, media would make me happy because that's the only consistent dream that I've had my entire life. Like, I had other career options that I thought about, but media was always something that stayed consistent. I always wanted to have a little magazine. Then I really wanted to be a singer at one point. Then I wanted to be a dancer at one point. Then I wanted to have my own newspaper. Then I wanted to be in radio, which I still want to be in radio, but you get the point. Like, everything stayed in the media, arts, and entertainment realm. So I was like, it makes more sense to stay where I want to be and get certified, accredited, etc. in what I want to do than to venture out to something I don't want to do. My parents did still give me the, why can't you be a doctor? Why can't you be a lawyer type of view? But they never like forced it upon me. So it's one of those things where it's like, I would have not done it even if they tried, because you need to be happy doing what you are doing. You need to do what you're doing for you. You need to do it because you want to do it. You need to do it because that's genuinely something that you dreamed about becoming. You can't sit there and let your parents tell you like, oh, be a doctor, be a lawyer, da 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 da, and then you go and do it, and then now you wasted 4, 5, 6 years, and that's not what you want to do. Now it's hard to find a job. Now you're miserable. Now you're depressed. Now you're suicidal. You're all this extra shit because you wanted to do something that someone else wanted you to do. I understand that's your parents. I understand you don't want to disobey. You don't want to disrespect. But you can calmly and respectfully tell your parents, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to do. I would like to do this. And I feel like I will be more successful doing that than forcing myself to do something I don't want to do. Now, a lot of you are probably like,
you must not have Haitian parents. Your Haitian parents must be da-da-da-da-da. You can't talk like that to Haitian parents.
The more you act as if you're afraid of them, the more they're going to throw that authoritative behavior on you. If you sit there and you're afraid to talk to them, if you sit there and you're afraid to say anything to them in regards to how you feel, they're going to continue to treat you that way because they don't know how you feel. It's common sense. Yeah, clearly they're being authoritative and they're being mean about it and they're pushing you to do this, that, and the third. But if you're not saying, no, I don't want to do this. No, I can't do that. No, 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 no. What do you expect them to do? They're going to keep doing the same thing. Now, I'm not saying to be disrespectful, curse them the hell out, move the hell out, and do what you want. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying respectfully tell them this is not what you want to do. And if that does not work, tell them, well, I'm not going to go to school then. Period. And then when you're old enough to get a job and pay for your own school, if they refuse to pay for it, then so be it. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be a big thing, which I know a lot of Haitians will make that a big thing. They're going to call Haiti and tell them that you're disrespectful, that you try to hit them because you said you didn't want to do what major that they told you to do. And it's one of those things where it's like, you didn't do that. I hope you didn't do that. And the Lord knows it. If they want to lie on you, so be it. That's just the way a lot of Haitians are. And then there's a lot of you who are not in school, don't want to be in school, and don't plan on going to school. And my thing is, if you don't want to be in school, genuinely don't go. I have no idea why people do this. I know too many people who did this. Too many who went to college just because someone else in their family was making them go. And it's just like, this doesn't make sense to me because that's a huge commitment. Mentally, psychologically, physically, it's a huge commitment to be in college. So my thing is, if you don't want to go, don't go. If your parents are trying to force you, remind yourself that you are of age in America to not go. And I know, again, a lot of you are going to be like, oh, well, you guys must not know Haitian parents. Again, if you're going to do any of these things, just know you got your shit together. Okay, you can't just do any of this without having your shit together. Make sure you have money saved. Make sure you have somewhere to go after this, because there's a lot of Haitian parents that are just effed up and they will kick you the hell out of the house. As soon as you try to say no to them, what? IET. What? Sidewalk. What? No, like, they're not about to have it, okay? I know there's a lot of y'all parents who really not about to have it. So if you are going to stand up to your parents, If you are going to tell them, this is not what I want to do, just make sure you have a backup plan. You can't be broke as hell with $2 in your bank account, no backup plans as to where you're going to go, and no backup plan to your life, and tell your parents this is not what you want to do. Because 9 times out of 10, they're either going to curse you the hell out, or they're going to be like, okay, what do you want to do then? And then you're going to sit there and be like, you can't be like, okay, well, I know I'm in school, Mom, but I don't want to be in school. Okay, what do you want to do? I just want to work. That's definitely not going to help them, okay? Because at the end of the day, I have to play devil's advocate here. Most Haitians came to America for their kids to have a better life. Sure, a lot of them may be difficult. A lot of them may be harsh. A lot of them may be a little cruel to their kids. But a lot of it to them and their brains, for a lot of it to them and their brains is that they are doing all of this in your best interest, okay? From beating the shit out of you, to sending you to school and you don't want to go there, to not letting you hang out with your friends. They see it as, I invested into you, therefore now you need to invest in yourself. That's how they see it. Not a good way going about it, genuinely not a good way, but that's what they think they're doing. They really think that they're setting you up for success by doing all of these harsh things for you. So the intent is there. That's what they want. So you can't go and tell your parent, oh, I don't want to go to school, I just want to work at McDonald's. I don't want to go to school, I just want to work at Subway. Because they're going to be like, so you want to struggle like me? The fuck I come all the way to America for? You know, that's one of those situations where it's like, it's a slap in the face. It's like, I done probably came here illegally on a boat. I done lied about my age, made a fake name to have you here. I done came here and had people spend thousands of dollars to have me here for you to tell me that you want to work at Subway, getting minimum wage. I don't know how much Subway workers make, but you get the point. They see it as you need to put everything in yourself to be what you want to be. That's why they see it as, okay, well, you're not going to go to school, you're wasting opportunity. You're not going to, advance yourself, well, you're wasting my time. What type of a waste of a kid are you? You're making me look bad. Why did I sacrifice? That's really how they're seeing it. And honestly, I think that's a horrible way to think, because at the end of the day, it's not about you. As a parent, you're there to guide. You're there to uplift. You're there to make sure your kid ends up being the best kid that they can be, ends up being the best adult that they can be, and ends up reaching their plateau, ends up being what they truly want to be in life. I don't believe that you should push your beliefs, wishes, and wants on your kids, because at the end of the day, that's not going to end out well. The kids are going to be just as miserable as you, if you really want to be real here. So yeah, my advice to those of you who are in school and don't want to be in school, or are in school in a major you don't want to do, my advice to you is tell them, speak to them. If they don't like it, find a way to fund your own schooling, because 9 times out of 10 you're not going to pay for it. And that's it. That's the only thing you can really do. Like, you have no other option. Leave school or fund it yourself. And depending on how ancient your parents are, find somewhere else to live too, because they're probably not going to have it. Video is for my college people. If you're sitting here watching this and you're telling me you don't want to be in high school because you don't like high school, it's not an easy world out there living with just a high school diploma or anything less than a high school diploma. So I'm just letting you know right now, you better have a backup plan, you better start a business, you better go to a trade school, you better do something, because that ain't it, sis, bro, whatever. That's it for this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'ma see y'all next time.